Patrick here from Have Cheeto Will View, and I have not given up on the 31 Days of Halloween. In fact, I'm doing two of them tonight. Um, One's an old favorite. I'm sure a lot of you guys will see it and instantly recognize it, of course. Anybody in the horror community has probably seen it and say, yep, yep, yep. But the other one, the one I'm going to show you today, it's a little bit different. Um, it's not, I mean, on first surface, you think it's not a horror film, but in actuality, it is. It's psychological horror, but it's horror nonetheless. It calls into question of morality and what happens when abuse of power is taken to the extreme. And isn't that really a horror story in and of itself? What happens when someone does have the power to take over and chooses to do that versus one who could do it and does not? And it's an interesting quandary. I mean, some people will say, well, it's a humane, it's a humanity question, but the way they presented it, and I disagree. I mean, I agree, but I also disagree in the sense that I find the concept of one person, like an Adolf Hitler or Donald Trump, or someone along that ilk, having control, having complete power, and abusing it, not caring if people die. Only thing you matter is about is your control and what you can do with it. And just because you can, not because if you should, but because you can, so you will. You abuse the power. So the first movie I'm going to be talking about today is none other than Superman versus the Elite. Now, I know, like I said, I expect some of the people say, some of you guys will sit there and say, that's not a horror film. And I'll politely disagree with you about that. The story is Superman being Superman. He's walking with Lois Lane, a very dangerous criminal named the Atomic Skull gets out, and he starts murdering people. He's extremely dangerous, extremely powerful, and he kills people. And they show that quite vividly here. And Superman fights him and takes him into custody, but it's a question that we raised before, not here in this platform, but not during this 31 days, but we have raised about it before, about what do you do with someone who's that dangerous and don't do anything about it? I mean, you know he's going to escape, you know he's going to get out, and then the terror starts again, right? Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Were we just talking about a character that was institutionalized this weekend, and yet he was being transferred and he got out, and what's the first thing he starts doing? He starts killing again. Yeah. So am I wrong for sitting there saying this is not a horror movie? Well, basically, it's the same damn plot as any slasher movie, huh? Except that we have Superman to help us out, whereas someone like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, there's really nobody quite like Superman to step in and to knock him flat on his butt. But even if he did, Superman's not going to end him, right? He's going to just capture him and take him back to wherever they take him to, and then sooner than later they break out, and then the cycle starts all over again, just like a slasher movie, just like a franchise movie, right? But this time, Superman, he's trying to, because they're asking him, like, how come this always happens? How come you can't put an end to it once and for all? And Superman says, he's not above the law. He's not a judge. He's not a jury. He's certainly not an executioner. Well, the Elite, they have a slightly different look on things. at first they come over and they appear to help Superman, and initially I think they did want something positive, but I think they got frustrated with what they were seeing, and so they decided to take power. There's four of them: Manchester Black, Coldcust, um, Coldcast, the Menagerie, and the Hat. Uh, Cold Cuts. I like that. I'm gonna go with that. Right, Joe Kelly and say, can we call them Cold Cuts for short? Well, anyway, they're a new supergroup, and they come over and they help Superman, but um, they're a little extreme with how they fight. They all have superpowers, terrific superpowers, but they want to use them to stamp out problems permanently. So it's a war morality between Superman and the elite. The elite wants to go to the extreme, and Superman's trying to teach them how to not do that. And when the atomic skull does get out, as we all know he does, where Superman wants to recapture him, the elite says, "Why are we recapturing this character so we can do this over and over and over?" So they kill him. Instead of just bringing him back to jail, they said, "You know what? Screw it. We're done dealing with this problem, so we're just going to kill it." So that's what they did. They kill him. Of course, this brings them into conflict with Superman because now they're murderers and they're no better off than he is. And so it causes a conflict. Uh, and it's a really interesting movie. It's very well written. It's based on a comic, Superman 775, and it's an interesting quandary. Um, what happens when someone does with absolute power, does abuse it? Um, even with the best of intentions, they still abuse it. I thought this was a really interesting movie. It's very well acted. George Newbern plays Superman. Polly Perrette is Lois Lane. Robin Atkins Down played Manchester Black, who is a very fascinating character. Um, and it's a very interesting movie. This is one of the best DC animated releases that I've seen. The movie's really great. A lot of action, but a lot of smart dialogue. Um, the special features are just packed with this. A couple of Superman from the series episodes. Um, some really good featurettes discussing the morality of Superman and the Elite. It's not your average release. Um, I found this one to be quite good. One of the best. Um, so yeah, this is the movie I'm picking for day 12 of 31 Days of Halloween. Um, you can get this movie at most secondary markets. You can probably pick this up at Warner Brother Archives or Warner Brothers their site, or you can pick it up at secondary markets like Amazon um, or eBay. All right, well that's it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and end it. Superman the Elite. I don't have a case for this because this is one of the movies that my buddy Catfish left me, and he doesn't have a case for it. So I have to find a case for it, or I put it in a binder. So that's the reason why it's not in the case. All right, that's it for me, and I'll be back shortly with my second movie. Until the next one, peace.